Children, welcome to our social studies class. Please open lesson number 5, our constitution. In previous video, we have done Constitution of India, need for constitution, and nature of Indian constitution. Now we are supposed to start with our next topic, that is fundamental rights. So constitution has again given some fundamental rights to every citizen, which are very helpful to make our life better. So let's start with the first fundamental right. First fundamental right is right to equality. Every citizen has equal rights under this law. Okay, under the law. Okay, this means that men and women are equal no matter what religion or caste you belong to. Next comes right to freedom. Here, this right is given to us to express our feelings. Whatever we want to speak, we can speak. Whatever we want to express, we can express. Again, whenever you are expressing yourself, keep in your mind about the rights of other also. Means we should not hurt others when we are speaking or expressing ourselves. In this right, we are free to travel anywhere, we are free to live in any part of the country, and even we are free to practice any lawful profession in the country. Then comes our right against exploitation. What is the meaning of exploitation? Exploitation means misuse. So children and especially poor people are protected by this right. This right ensures the education to the children and protecting them from a child labor. And this right also promotes the equal pay for equal work. Next comes our right to freedom of religion. In this right, every citizen of our country is free to choose any religion of his or her choice. Free to practice any religion. Okay, nobody can bound them. Next comes our culture and educational right. If you know that India is a land of diversities, with the many languages and culture in different states. If you find in Punjab, we are having a different culture. In Himachal, we are having a different. Then Jammu, Kashmir, so many other, 29 states are there. We are having a different culture. So this is the reason this India is called as a land of diversity. Every culture group, especially minorities. Okay, especially minorities. Okay, minorities. Who are minorities? Those who are less in number have a right to protect their culture. Minority, actually they are unable to protect. Earlier they were unable to protect their culture. This is the reason this right is given to them, so that they can again protect their culture, language, religion and heritage. Okay, and enjoy all the benefits which majority of the citizens can enjoy. Next comes our right to constitutional remedies. So, as we all know, who provides the remedies for all our sorrows? Constitution only, because Constitution is the one who has given these rights. So, with the help of Constitution, we can again live our life happily and peacefully. So if suppose your right is in danger, your fundamental right is hurt by somebody, then you can go through a court and get justification with the help of this right, that is right to constitutional remedies. Next comes our right to education. This right is introduced recently actually. As per this right to Education Act 2009. Okay, it is given as Act 2009. All children, that is from 6 to 14 years, are again have a right to get free and compulsory education. Next comes our fundamental duties. As we are having so many rights to make our life better, we are having a fundamental duties too, which we are not following. So take a oath from today onward that you will definitely follow these fundamental duties to make our country best. Okay, children? So we'll start with this. With the right comes the duty towards the nation and other fellow citizens. Therefore, the Constitution of India has laid down the fundamental duties for the citizen. Some of them we will discuss. We must respect the Constitution and obey the laws of our country. So we should respect our Constitution because it has made so many fundamental rights to make our life better. Next comes we should respect our national flag and national anthem. If you find in schools also we are teaching this thing to respect the national anthem. If you know that when we are going for the this prayer, at the end of prayer we are having a national anthem. There we teach you to respect the national anthem. So it's our duty to respect our nation. Next comes we must value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. So whatever our country is providing, whatever the culture we are having, we should preserve that and value that. We should not feel bad to say that we are Indian. We should feel good that we are Indian. We must help the government in times of national crisis. Whenever there is a national crisis, we should come out to help the nation. Okay, nowadays also India is facing a COVID-19 problem. So what India wants you to again follow the guidelines of the country. Are we following? No, we are coming out of our homes. So what government is saying? To stay at home, so that again we can stop the spread of this COVID-19. So when we are staying at home, we are helping our government. Okay, in this way we should help our nation whenever a nation needs us. Next comes we must safeguard the public property and not to damage it. But we are doing. If you find in schools also, we are writing something on the tables and benches. So in buses also, children are tearing the seats of the buses. When we are going through the trains, there also children are again spoiling the property of the nation. So we should not again do such things, because it is our duty to safeguard the public property. We should not damage the public property. So we should promote the spirit of harmony and common brotherhood. If we want to live peacefully, we should have a feeling of common brotherhood. Then comes we must treat all citizens as equal and follow non-violence. What is a non-violence? Means not to fight, not to hurt somebody. Okay, equal means here means we should treat everybody equal. Whether somebody is rich or poor doesn't matter. We should find each other as a citizen of India. Okay, next important duty of ours is to protect and preserve our environment. Okay, because environment is the one which makes our life again smooth. Okay, so we should protect our environments. Next comes our directive principles of state policy. So again, what are the directive principles? Directive means direction. Okay, so this constitution is providing some direction to the state. So let's read this. Directive principles of the state policy contain a broad guidelines to be followed by the state. State here means country, while establishing the policies and laws. The government should follow these guidelines while making laws and policies. Some of the directive principles are, so these guidelines are given whenever government is going to make any law, whenever government is going to make any policy, government has to keep these guidelines in mind. Then only they have to make these laws. Then only government has to make law. First principle is government should promote the welfare of people. Means whenever government is going to make a law, it should keep in mind about the welfare of the people. Next comes our government should maintain social order through social, economic and political justice. Whichever the law is made, it should made in such a way that social order should be maintained through a social, economic and political justice. Means all should get all three justice. Okay. Next comes government should try to remove economic instability. What is instability? Means inequality. Economic inequality means the difference between the people, that is of rich and poor. Again, this should be eradicated by the government. Government should again create equal work opportunities for both men and women. Okay, whichever the government opportunity is provided for the people, it should be for both men and women. Next comes our government should create a provision of free and compulsory education for children. This government has already done also, that again children should get a free and compulsory education. Prevention of child abuse and exploitation of workers. Next principle is our assistance to the needy, including unemployed, sick, disabled and old people. Special help should be given to the unemployed people, sick people, disabled people and old people. Preservation of environment by safeguarding of forest and wildlife. Again, government should take some steps to safeguard the forest and wildlife. So this is all in your chapter. So it's time to do the exercises. First of all, we'll start with our milestone. For each of the following, write R for fundamental right. If you find that this is a fundamental right, you are supposed to write in front of that R. And D for a duty, fundamental duty. Freedom to follow any religion. Freedom to follow any religion means right to religion. So it's a right, R. To obey the laws of the country, it is our duty. Write down D in front of it. To obtain education, this is our right to get a free and compulsory education. Write down R in front of it. To appeal to the court of law for justice. Again, this is our right. Comes in constitutional remedies. Next comes our to safeguard the public property and not to damage it. This is our duty, which we are not following. So we should follow this duty. Respect the national flag of the country. This is also our duty. Now move to the next page, please, beta. That is on page number 42. Let's start with our fill-ups. First is here, the dash of the India is a supreme law of the country. Constitution of India. Constitution of India is a supreme law of the country. Second fill-up is, the Constitution of India lays down the rights and duties. Rights and duties of the citizens. Rights and duties. Third one is here, the Indian Constitution is the longest written constitution in the world. Longest written constitution. Dash is the introduction to the constitution. Preamble. Preamble is the introduction to the constitution. India has a democratic form of government, means that people have the right to choose their government. Democratic form of government. Then come to our true false. Write T for true and F for false. First is your, the constitution defines the parts of the government. Correct it is. Write T in front of it. First one is true. Drafting committee worked under a chairmanship of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Wrong it is. So write F in front of the second one. False it is. Next comes your republic means that the people of India are free to choose their religion. Wrong. Write down false in front of this third one. This is your false. Third. All children in the age group of 6 to 14 years have a right to free and compulsory education. This is true. Write down T in front of it. Fourth one is true. Fifth one, the government should promote the welfare of the people. Again, this is true. This comes in your directive principle. True it is. So children, next please start with the one word answer. You're supposed to write there on the book, but again be very careful while writing, bacha. The term in the constitution that states that there is a social and economic equality in the state. Which term defines this? Socialist. 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 The term that relates to freedom of citizens to follow any religion. Secular. 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 The first chairman of drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. People whose population is less in a country, minority. We call them minority. 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 Fifth one is the guidelines to be followed by the state while establishing policies and laws. That is your directive principles of state policies. Directive principles of state policy. So let's start with your question answers. Take out the notebook, beta. Please, beta, open your notebooks. On the top, just write down chapter 5, our constitution, and start question here, then start writing answer. Okay. You can take a help of your book for writing your questions. First question of yours is, what was the need to draft the Constitution for India post-independence? Answer for this, a constitution was drafted so that our country could make use of its own rules and laws. I am repeating. A constitution was drafted so that our country could make use of its own rules and laws. Come to the next question, that is, write a short note on the nature of Indian Constitution. Which I have written in this way. You can make a points also if you wish to make your answer easy for learning. The Indian Constitution is the longest written constitution of the world. It defines the structure, procedures, powers and duties of the government. It also states the rights and duties of the citizens. You can split into points if you wish. Next question, enumerate the fundamental rights of the citizen of India. The fundamental rights of citizens of India are, first is your right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right, Right to constitutional remedies. Right to constitutional remedies. Right to education. Seventh is right to education. Question, that is your, what are the fundamental duties of the citizens of India? Write down answer. The fundamental duties of the citizens of India are, we must respect the constitution, respect our national flag and national anthem, safeguard public property, protect and preserve our environment, help the government in times of national crisis. Next question. State the directive principle of state policy. Write down answer number 5. That directive principles of state policy states that the government should promote the welfare of the people. The government should try to remove economic instability. It should create provision for free and compulsory education for children. Come to the next, that is your 5th exercise. You're supposed to write the question in this way only, then write down the answer which I'm going to tell you. Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar is often called father of the Indian Constitution. Why do you think he is so called? Find out more about him. Write down an answer for this. Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar is often called the father of Indian Constitution because he played a major role in framing Indian Constitution. Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar is often called the father of Indian Constitution because he played major role in framing Indian Constitution. This was all in your our Constitution. We'll do the next chapter in next video. Have a good day.